All right, Joe W. Bristol, let's continue our little series a little bit here about pipelines versus the railroads and pipeline ruptures particularly. We've talked a little bit about all the other stuff. Let's bear down a little more on the ruptures, because if you're a welder, you may never have seen a rupture. If you're a new welder, if you're a shop welder, if you worked on lines, if you've worked about 10 years or more, you probably have been around some rupture of some kind. I want to show you this. This is 12-inch pipe, and as the pipe gets bigger, like I said, the way that it's made, they make pipe that is seamless, but it's expensive, and they don't use it if they don't have to because of the price. Pipe is priced in per foot. The weight of it has a per foot cost. And a lot of times pipelines, companies want to lay them with thinner pipe because it's less weight, therefore it's less cost. As we've progressed, the pipe has gotten harder, stronger. It's called X values. And we started off years ago like X42, X52, X60, X65, and we're up, way up now. We're up there around, I think, X90, 100. And that's where you'll see a lot of automatic welding happening because they get a better mix, adhesion with the metals instead of the stick rods. But I want you to see this seam. This pipe here, 12-inch, and it's normal. The plate is rolled in a machine, comes up, it's pressed together, and then they make a weld. A weld could be two machines, could be one inside, one outside, but it's supposed to fuse until you get a solid weld. And I want to show you this one. On the inside, this is the inside seam, and I marked it for you. And you can see, if you can put your finger here, this is a little groove right here. It's like it's a little below the pipe, and you can feel it. The bigger the pipe gets, the more pronounced that is. It'll come up like this, like a little U, and it's got like a little ridge sticking up above the pipe. And then the outside, this one is smooth. It's like it's been ground smooth on the outside. But on the bigger pipe, there's actually, you can see the weld. It's capped off. It's real pretty. It's about a 16th high, maybe a little more sometimes. And you can tell where that's at. Now, if you come over here, I want to show you something. When we're on the job, you'll see a line like this, and it'll have this S mark. If you guys are not new to this, you will see this when you get in this trade. The S mark stands for seam. And when you put these pipe together in a pipeline, you're adding one joint to another. You don't just put the seams together. If I had another joint of pipe here, I would not put the seams right dead on top. You might think that, oh, put all the seams in the same place. No, they want them to be separated. And usually the norm is 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 10 and 2. If you get in a bind somewhere trying to put a piece of pipe in and the seams are kind of rolled a little bit, then they'll let you get, I think, about 3 inches close. But that's usually about it. Otherwise, you got to cut some stuff out, and it's kind of a big hassle. Inside, you can see the seams too, but outside is what it's going to look like. S stands for seam. Then what is this? Sometimes you'll be on a job, and I told you before, this is how you make a mark for measurements. If we were going to measure 2 foot, that would be the mark, crow's foot. And then you'll see this, a dollar sign. Well, what is the dollar sign doing when you're going to cut pipe? That stands for money cut. That means that there's no room for error here. We have measured this thing out. We're going to set this piece of pipe in here, and it's going to be a bad deal if somebody messes up and cuts this thing too short, or you get a helper that cuts it. A lot of jobs, a foreman will not let the helpers make this cut. A lot of times, we welders, we have good helpers. We're going to sit in the truck, we'll go get a hamburger, get a sandwich or something out of the truck, eat a little bit, while they're down there cutting this, prepping it, and then we're ready to weld, okay? And but when you make this, a lot of foremen don't want a helper doing this. They want the responsibility to be on us, the welders. And I don't blame them for that. If it's bad, then you got to weld it because you made it. I'm Gerald W. Brister. In a minute, I'll tell you some more tips.